Hello and welcome. I'm Laura. In this video, I will be giving you a rundown of the Canva Brand Kit. Now, the Canva Brand Kit is perfect for small businesses. It is a pro feature, so you will need to have Canva Pro to access the full benefit of the Brand Kit, but it is really, really worth it. The Brand Kit's perfect for small businesses because it not only gives you every aspect of your brand in one place. It also helps you stay consistent across the board in your business, from your posters to your flyers, your adverts, your social graphics, presentations, different things like that that you may need in your business that need to be on brand. It's very, very simple to do when you have your brand kit set up. Now, this is one of the first things I always recommend small businesses do when they first start using Canva is to get your brand kit set up so you can stay consistent across the board from day one. So I'm going to head over to my screen and I'm going to show you exactly what is in the brand kit and how you can add the different elements into it to keep it on brand and consistent across the board within your business. Here we are. This is my Canva dashboard. I have Canva Pro, so I can show you exactly what you are going to be seeing within your brand kit. You can follow along this video as we go, and you can click when I click, and I will walk you through this step by step so that you don't miss anything. On the left-hand menu in Canva, this icon here where it says brand, there's a little crown next to it. Now that means that it's a pro feature. As I mentioned before, you do need to have a pro to be able to use the full extent of the brand kit. Click on this icon and it will open up your brand templates. This little guy up here, these three little lines, if you click on this, it will then open up another menu that then has all of the icons in for the actual brand kits themselves. The first one, brand kits, click on that and it will then open up any brand kits that you have. If you don't have brand kits in here, it doesn't matter, it will just be blank. To start and create a brand new brand kit, there is a button called Add New. Click on Add New and you can name your brand kit. I'm just going to call it Test Kit as we are doing this as an example, but this could be your business name. It could be a project if you're creating a new project and it has different color branding elements to it. So add in here the name of your brand kit. Click Create. Now we have opened up a blank brand kit. So let's just have a look through and see what the different sections are before we fill them in. The first one is your logo. You can add in your logo, any different versions of your logos, your sub logos, different colors, different styles, all can go in the first section. Then any color palette. So do you have specific branding colors for your business? 2 or 3 different colors can go in here, as well as any other tints and shades that you might use within your branding. Then you have your fonts, your main font, your subtitle font, your text font, the different style fonts that you use within your branding on a day-to-day basis. You can add in bodies, quotes, and captions as well. So Canva has really gone to town with the amazing different types of fonts that you can actually upload into your brand kit. We have your brand voice. Now, this is a really, really important one when you're using Canva AI. We have photos. You can add in photos here that you use within your brand, different graphics, different icons. Perfect if you have multiple different icons on your website. You can keep them stored in here to make sure you're consistent across the board. And then we have charts. Now, charts is a brand new feature that's been added into the brand kit. If you click on Add New, I'll just show you this very quickly here because we're not going to touch on this one too much. You can add in guidelines. So if somebody else is using your brand kit to create your graphics and build anything that you need design-wise within your business, they can come here and they can see how, where, and when to use charts within your business. Also, you can add in colors for your charts. So you can add in your brand colors here as well by clicking the dot, the circle with the cross, finding your color within here or adding in the hex code, which is the color code for your brand colors. And you can actually create colors for your charts here. I'm just going to close that down because we're not going to be looking at charts in too much detail today. That's the next step on. We want to add in the elements to our brand kit to get us started creating our social graphics, our presentations, our flyers, our adverts. Going to scroll back up to the top. The first section here is where you will add in your logo. So all you need to do is either drag and drop. So if you're working on a couple of screens and you can drag and drop your image file into this logo section, you can do that now. Or you can click on here and it will open up your desktop, and then just find the file that you have got in your computer. Now I've got these three logos here as an example. These are just made up ones for a retro style business. So we could say that we own a vintage antique store. We sell vintage and retro items to the public. I would love to do that one day. That's one of my dreams. So I have created three logos here, different styles. I've got my main logo. Then I've got two different colored ones as well. So like I said, you can add in multiple logos. I've clicked on one, I'm going to open it up, and Canva have now popped it in there for me. I can now add multiple logos if I want to. I can add more in here as well. But before I add in the next one, I just want to show you that Canva have actually picked out the three main colors from this particular logo and added them as a color palette for me. So I've not even had to go and find all the colors within my logo to add them in. And it's given me the hex codes, which is the color code for each individual color. So I can now stay specifically on brand with my colors. To add in another logo, which I mentioned you can add in multiples, this section here where it says add new under logos, click this, upload logos, and it will open up your desktop again. I'm just going to highlight by dragging my mouse over these two and click open. So it's added them all in now. So it's given me my main one, which gave me my three main brand colors. And then I have added in my other different variations of my logos. I can change the names if I want to. At the moment, they're just 1, 2, and 3, but I can call them my main logo, white, secondary logo, black, secondary logo, or if you've got different names for them, you can add them in as well. And they are image files, so they're PNG files when you want to upload your logo. So wonderfully, Canva have added in these beautiful colors for me to use in my color palette. But let's say I have a separate project that I want to use within this business, and I want to be able to toggle between a couple of different color palettes. If you click on add new, you can then add a brand new color palette here. You can add a custom palette, or you can select one of the predetermined color palettes that Canva have created for you. So if you think to yourself, actually, yes, these berry blue colors would work really, really well with this new project I've got going on, I can select these and it will add them in automatically as a color palette. If I want to add a custom color palette, I go back to add new, add palette, add a custom palette, and Canva have created me a blank palette. So from here, you can click on this circle. So click on here. Now you can find the perfect colors for your branding. Like I've mentioned before, you can choose a color. You have this scrolling bar here. Have a little play with the scrolling bar. Look at all the amazing colors that it gives you. You can also add in here the hex code. As I've mentioned, you can find the hex code with any color that you want. You can also pick a color. So if you have a photo on another screen, for example, click on pick a color. Canva will then give you this big circle and you can hover over, even on me, I can hover over anywhere. So let's say the background color on the menu bar over here on the left hand is perfect for my branding. I can hover over it, click it, and Canva will find it for me within the color bar here. It's added in the hex code for me, hit enter, and I have now got this color in my color palette. Go ahead, have a play, click on add new, find a lovely color that you really like and add it into your color palette. You can also add in gradients. Gradients in Canva, I absolutely love. You have multiple options, so it gives you two to begin with, but you can change the color of both of these. Click on the circle and it will give you a brand new color palette. Click on the circle and it's given me a brand new gradient. If I wanted to add in all three brand colors for my business, let's say, let's go for something that's a little bit more in keeping with blue and teal. A nice pink, for example. I've now got my three branding colors. I can add multiples if I want to, and then Canva give me options of different styles. So have a look at gradients as well. Click on gradient, and then you can go through the various colors in the color palette. We're not going to do that today because we want to just go through this. So far, we have looked at how to add in your logo and how to add in multiple logos, which then gives you your color palette for the main logo and how to then add in different color palettes for different projects that you're working on. Now, how do you get rid of a color palette? If you've added a color palette in for a project that is no longer running, you might not want the color palettes to stay in your brand kit. This little guy here, these three little dots, click on this and you can delete the palette. You can copy it. You can even put it in another brand kit if you have multiple businesses, and you can reorder it so you can make this your top brand kit if you want to. But I'm going to delete this one for today. You're about to delete color palette. This is permanent, can't be undone. So do make sure you're 100% sure that you actually want this color palette gone before deleting it. Then hit delete and it's gone. Next, we are moving on to fonts. Now, fonts in our branding are very important as the rest of the parts that make our brand. Fonts, we tend to have 2 to 3 main fonts across the board. We will have a main font, which is our logo font, which is the big header font on your website, the big header font on your social media posts. We then have a subtitle font, which is for smaller headers, headers that go with text boxes. And then we have a section header or a text header, which is the actual font for the text boxes itself, the major pieces of text that you use within your business. Try to stick to 2 to 3 fonts within your branding. Now, how do you actually add them into your brand kit? Well, it's quite simple. As with everything in Canva, it is made to be very easy to use and understand. So adding fonts in is a very simple process. Click on the title and it will open up a separate box for you. I'm going to add in my font. You can add in your font at the same time. Click on choose a font and it brings up this search box for you. I'm typing in Candice because that is the font that I've used in my logo for my retro vintage shop. Click on the word and it will add it in here for you. It's given it a large font size, which is fine. I can change if I decide, actually, no, I want to use this as something else, I can change it. But for the time being, we are leaving it as our title. And I can also make it bold and italic if the font allows. Not all fonts will allow you to make them bold and italic, so don't worry if they are grayed out. You could also change the name. I suggest changing it to the name of the actual font. So type in Candice or the name of the font that you're adding in, just so that you know when you are using this font, it's the Candice font. So if you need to find it somewhere else, you know what it's called. Once you are happy with that, so you've got your font, you've named it, you know it's your title font, leave the size because you can actually adjust the size when you are creating in Canva anyway. Click the little tick in the corner, save, and you have added in your first font. It's now there for every time you need to use it within your business. The next one I would add, as I mentioned, 2 to 3 different fonts, subtitle font. This one, I would go for something, if you haven't already got a font in mind, something that's easy to read on a screen. Yes, we've got our Candice font, which is a big, loud, bold font, but that's part of our logo and it works well with the logo. It will work well as a big font across the board within our business. But this font, the second font, it needs to be readable because it's going to be a header font. So people need to be able to understand what it is you're putting across. So I'm going to delete this and then look for one. Quicksand is a nice, easy, readable font. Very good for screens, as that's where most people tend to find us these days as small business owners. And I'm going to change it to Quicksand. So change the title as well. It's a subtitle. I'm going to leave this. I can actually make this bold. I'm going to click on bold because I want to also use this font as my text font as well. So click save when you are done, and then down to body or text. And I'm going to find Quicksand for this one as well. Call it Quicksand, name it, and I'm not going to make it bold, and then click save. So very quickly, I've added in 3 different fonts. One that's my logo font that I can now use across the board. 2 is my header font. And 3 is my text font. So they're the 3 main fonts that you will need within your branding to get you started. Right, we are moving on to the next section, brand voice. I love this section in Canva. I think it's a very, very useful section. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on add your brand voice. So if you do exactly the same, it opens up this box for you. Now have a little read of this bit underneath. Describe your brand's unique personality and how you communicate with your audience. Your voice is an important way to attract people to your brand, create connections, and build trust with them. And it gives you an example. Our voice is confident, casual, and friendly. So in this box, you need to explain how you want to come across when you are creating content within Canva. Using the AI features in Canva, it will look at the brand voice and it will create content around your friendly brand voice. So in here, you can write, our voice is friendly, confident, easy to understand. I think I've actually put no big complex words in mine to make it easy, as I do not use big complex words or phrases. And then it just gives Canva's AI features an idea of exactly how you would speak when it's creating content for you. So this is a really, really good one to get nailed down correctly within your brand kit. When you are done, click save. We're now moving on to the next section, photos, graphics, and icons. These are as equally as important as your fonts, your color palettes, and your logos. These will help keep you again on brand and consistent across the board within your business. Do you have photos, graphics, and icons that you use? Do you have icons on your website? So I have some little icons for different headings on my website. Do you have photos that have your branded colors in that represent what you do within your business? Do you have product photos, for example? Just some ideas of the different things you can add into these sections. It's exactly the same as logos. You click or drag the photo into the section. I've got 4 different photos from my vintage shop, which is going to incorporate a cafe, and I want to show some cafe style vintage images within my designs when I'm creating in Canva. So I've got 4 different photos here. If I drag my mouse across them all and then click open, Canva will put all of them in for me. I can also generate on-brand images if I want to, using Canva AI by using any of these photos I have got in here. To do this, click the 3 dots on one of your photos and then click generate from photo. And Canva will then bring up the Dream Lab for you, which is fantastic in Canva. You can then describe what you would like the style of the photo to be. A vintage store with antique and vintage items for sale, let's say, and then click generate. It's also going to do it square for me, generate. So you can do this yourself once you've added in your photos into your brand kit. And you might think to yourself, actually, I'd like some more AI generated photos. Canva can create them for you. Now it's picked out 4 different images of vintage antique stores for me. add all to brand kit, and it has given me now 4 extra photos. So you don't even need to do the hard work of taking the photos yourself. Canva AI can do it for you by using one of your photos as a reference. Now, this is exactly the same for graphics and icons. You can do exactly the same. You click on the graphic bar, you bring up your computer files, you find the photos that you want to use or the graphics that you want to use, and you can add them into your brand kit to then use across the board. And the same with icons. So as long as you have the photos, the icons, the graphics stored on your computer, you can then drag and drop or find them on your computer and upload them into your brand kit. Now we are at the very bottom of the brand kit here. You have been through a lot today in this video. You have discovered where and how to open the brand kit, how to add in your different logos and different combinations of logos, how to add in color palettes that Canva already has in store for you, or your own branded color palettes, and how to remove them if you no longer need them, how to add in the different types of fonts that you might be using across your brand, how to add in your brand voice as well so that you know when you're using AI in Canva, it's talking in the way that you want it to, and also how to add in photos, graphics, and icons that you want to use across your business, and how to generate new photos using Canva AI. Now, that is a huge amount of information in one short video. So please do go back, watch the video again, stop and pause the video in different places if you need to, so that you can then follow along and create your very own amazing business brand kit.